Since 2005, JetBlue Airways has serviced the Burbank Airport in the Los Angeles area. Over the years, they've served destinations short and long, such as Las Vegas, Salt Lake City, Orlando, Boston, and for in its entirety to New York's JFK Airport. But after this flight and its red-eye flight back to JFK, there will be no more JetBlue service into Burbank, at least for now. So come along for this special journey with me on JetBlue's last service into Burbank on one of its new Airbus 220s. JetBlue 359 Kennedy Tower, runway 31 left, line up and wait. JetBlue 359, wind 300 at 6, gust 15, runway 31 left, cleared for takeoff. Hi everyone, I'm Scott. I'm an air traffic controller by day and a travel enthusiast year-round. I love premium travel, and when possible, I love to leverage my credit card benefits for exciting trips. So come along for the journey. If you enjoy my content, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. It means the world to me, and I'm very gracious for your support. Keep watching until the end of this video to find out where I'm headed next. Today I'm at JFK's Terminal 5, home of JetBlue Airways. The first stop today is to check in the luggage. I've mentioned in several of my previous videos that my wife and I both have the JetBlue Plus credit card. We both got it in 2020 during the COVID pandemic for its 100,000 point sign-up bonus each. It still continues to provide value today as we both get a free checked bag in economy for this flight with a maximum weight of 50 pounds each. Today's flight is on one of JetBlue's newest planes, the Airbus 220-300. At the time of this recording, this was JetBlue's longest Airbus 220 flight by far at 2,465 miles. They have served slightly longer Airbus 220 routes in the past. No lounge visit today as it did some plane watching at the gate where Flight 359 was supposed to depart from. But this is where things started to get a little bit chaotic. Our inbound plane was running late from Nashville, which put our flight behind schedule as well. This is where things got really noticeably disorganized by JetBlue. About 10 to 15 minutes before boarding, I got a notification on my phone that our plane coming in from Nashville was now going to Gate 4, about a 5-minute walk from Gate 8. Once my wife and I got to the gate area, it had people everywhere. As disorganized as this area was, so was the boarding process. The extra legroom seats on JetBlue grant Group A boarding. For this flight, you would never know that. Even with all the pre-boards and those with JetBlue's elite mosaic status, it seemed like more than half of the plane boarded ahead of Group A. My wife and I are sitting in JetBlue's even more space seats for this flight today, which grant Group A boarding. I don't think a jetway should be this crowded at this point in boarding, especially in Group A. This just did not seem right. As I finally get close to getting on board, today's plane registration is November 3185 Juliet, JetBlue's I Will Always Love Blue. This plane was 7 months old at the time of this recording. By the time my wife and I boarded and got to our seats in row 2, there was no overhead bin space left. In addition, JetBlue stored some of their emergency equipment directly above our seats, so the overhead bins there were not usable. A suggestion I would have for JetBlue is to reserve the overhead bin space for those sitting in the extra legroom seats for those people. My wife and I paid an extra $123 each to reserve these seats, so I personally think to be competitive, the overhead bins here should be reserved for those seats. Delta Airlines, for example, does this for their Comfort Plus customers. While not the same product, I think it would make these seats even more attractive for JetBlue if they are trying to sell them. Fortunately, my wife and I only brought on backpacks, so it wound up not being a big deal. Anyway, let me show you the seat area of the even more space seats on the JetBlue Airbus 220. The 220s have one side of the plane with just 2 seats, where my wife and I are, and the other side has 3 seats. There was 3 extra inches of legroom than the regular JetBlue economy seats. There were overhead lights and air vents, power outlets, adjustable seat backs and seat cushions, and an adjustable tray table. And of course, there was also JetBlue's generous entertainment screen. As we leave the gate to taxi, JFK has everything to someone who loves airliners. So many international carriers serve this airport, so as you can imagine how happy I was to see the Queen of the Skies taxiing past this Lufthansa Boeing 747-400. With that said, it was time to depart JFK on a magnificent autumn day in Queens, New York. JetBlue's last service to Burbank was underway. After a marginal start with the late gate change and the boarding issues, I was hoping the flight would be uneventful from here. Shortly after takeoff, JetBlue's flight attendants came around with their buy on board service. If you have the JetBlue Plus credit card and use it to purchase buy on board items, you get 50% off the published price. There are also other items for sale such as headphones if you want to listen to the audio portion of the entertainment. If you don't want to buy anything, that's okay too. JetBlue has complimentary name brand snacks, and they're arguably the best on a US airline. They have complimentary beverages as well. For today's flight, I opted for a snack box of gluten-free items. The box goes for $10, so $5 is taken off using the JetBlue Plus credit card. I've noticed this discount is automatic after the charge goes through. My wife got a cheese and crackers plate, which was the same price as the box that I got. I also got a complimentary can of sparkling water, and yes, JetBlue gives you the whole can. After this, the flight attendants came around with the complimentary name brand snacks. These are the same snacks you probably might remember from my previous videos in the JetBlue pantry. The JetBlue pantry is not available on the Airbus 220. As the sun begins to set over the Indianapolis area, this flight still has more than 4 hours to go. So I got up and I took a walk to the back of the plane to tour the lavatory. JetBlue has 3 lavatories on board, 1 in the front and 2 in the back of this Airbus 220. The one I showed you also has an infant changing table. Back at my seat, I took advantage of JetBlue's robust entertainment and internet. Both were working well on this flight. On my previous flight to JFK and Mint, the live TV was not working. The TV also has a USB-A outlet below. As this final flight into Burbank gets close to landing, the flight attendants set the cabin lighting in multicolor. I thought that was pretty neat. So how much did it cost for my wife and I to fly on this flight? I used JetBlue points and paid 12,000 points for each of us for this leg, but got 10% of the points back after taking this flight, which is another JetBlue Plus credit card benefit. So the final cost was 10,800 points and $123 for each of us. It was a beautiful night in the Los Angeles area. As the pilot set up to land on runway 8 at Burbank, I would say despite the snafu at the beginning, the rest of the flight was very good. It is too bad JetBlue has decided to leave Burbank after all these years servicing this airport. Perhaps they will return at some point in the future. Burbank Airport is also building a brand new terminal. Will they return in conjunction with the opening of that? Who knows? Time will tell though if Burbank will be on JetBlue's destination radar again one day in the future. I hope you had a good time watching my video. Please like this video if you enjoyed it and comment about it. Also, please subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. I am super grateful for your support. As the air stairs pull up to the plane, yes, Burbank does not have any jetway gates. It's time to say goodbye to JetBlue at Burbank. I hope to see them again at Burbank Airport soon. For now, so long.